We're soon.
Just that handle off.
Yes. Yeah, let's get a week or something.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Probably having dinner.
Right.
Couple sweet ones. I'd like to call the City of Holbrook, Arizona's City Council to order at 6 p.m. on September 22nd, 2022. Looks like everybody's here for roll call, so everybody's accounted for. We're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Wolford, followed by the invocation by Robert Black. You can rise, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, we thank you for giving us the health and ability to be able to be here at the city council meeting tonight. We ask you to be with the members of the city council as they discuss the needs of the city, that they may have the spirit that the city needs and that they make the best decisions they can to be able to move forward. We thank you for the moisture that you provide with us in this little town of ours. And we ask you that if it's thy will that you would supply us with what we need on that. We ask for these favors and blessings, Father, in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Councilman Woodford and Mr. Black. All right, item number 4, consent agenda, the September 8, 2022 meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
I move that we accept the agenda from September 8th, 2022.
Thank you.
A second. Third.
For Adam, so, all right, is there any discussion on the consent agenda?
I will abstain since I wasn't here.
Okay. Any others? All right, with that, we'll make a call for a vote. All in favor of consent, approving the consent agenda for September 8th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. Number 5, call to the public for non-agenda items. Do we have
There are
any?
none.
Thank you. All right, number 6, call to the public for agenda items.
There are none.
There are none, thank you. Number 7, new business. Discussion and possible action for the Planning and Zoning Commission member appointment. So, we do have a vacancy in our Planning and Zoning Committee. So it was published. We're looking for anybody interested in becoming an applicant and to be on that committee. We had just one person respond, and that was, sorry, what's his name there? Aaron Cologne, and I don't see him in the audience with us today. But I would like to go ahead and read his letter of intent. It says, to whom it may concern, I, Aaron Cologne, would like to participate and serve the City of Holbrook and Navajo County. I would like to fill the vacant position on the board of the Zoning Commission, and I feel I have extensive experience that would benefit the community. I am a longtime resident of Holbrook and have been a member of the Navajo County's Hash Knife Sheriff's Posse spanning 2 decades. I am employed at the Arizona Department of Transportation, where I have gained numerous years of experience in road construction, highway maintenance, and materials testing. I have residential and commercial construction experience and was blessed to grow up in a very successful professional real estate family. I have more recently been restoring one of the oldest homes in Holbrook that was built in 1885. As a U.S. Navy veteran, I bring rationale and organized reasoning to the table. I love this community and feel I am a great fit to serve on this commission. Respectfully yours, Aaron Cologne. So I think he's got a pretty good resume there, and that's to echo what Councilman Nilsen said earlier, we appreciate anybody willing to serve, and we do think that. So I would like to go ahead and approve that appointment and see if we have a consent from the council as well. Is there any opposed?
I have one question there.
Yeah.
It was posted in the paper. And was there a cutoff on that date?
Yeah, sorry, I apologize for that. So it was near the end of August.
Oh,
was-
okay. And this was the only applicant? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure we're not taking the first and not, and sending it
And the
back to the
cutoff
rest.
date was when?
I believe it was
August
August
26th.
twenty-sixth, but I might be off by a day or two, but I believe it was August 26th.
Sounds good to me.
All right, with that, we will appoint Aaron Cologne to our Holbrook Planning and Zoning Commission. We appreciate his service.
Mayor, if I just remind folks that any determination that the Planning and Zoning Committee makes comes to us for final approval. So just as a reminder for how that works, just in case people are curious.
No, that's a great, they hear it first, they make their recommendation, and it is up to the council, so thank you for that, Councilman Marsh. All right, so that is all we have for new business. So number 8, summary of current events. I'll start. Last week, myself and I know our city manager Soltis will have the same on his, but we were able to attend a dinner in Snowflake with the APS president and also some of the vice presidents. And it was great that, they've come out and they've really, Ted Geisler is the president, and they really are making a real effort on saying, hey, we do care about the small towns. This is the second time in about a month's time that they've actually come up to northern Arizona, and they want to get to know everybody. And it was a great opportunity to sit down with dinner with some of these vice presidents of the group and actually get to talk to them and see where they're coming from and understand that they really are aware of what's going on in northeastern Arizona and particularly Holbrook as well. So we want to thank them for that. I want to thank all those volunteers, especially we have I would like to know the number, and I never will, of how many volunteers come from the city of Holbrook to help put on the Navajo County Fair. Our own resident Mike Sample is the chairman of the board, and they put countless hours down there. But with that, between the livestock shows and the 4-H kids and all the little buckaroos and the rodeos and everybody that participated, even down to those that put in exhibits, there was, Holbrook comes out in full support. We appreciate that. So that is all I have at this time. Vice Mayor Payne.
Well, I also thank the Navajo County Fair Board for a really good fair. I really enjoyed it. And I want to congratulate Councilman Marsh. He received a participation ribbon for his salsa.
Oh, great.
He said they didn't taste it, but they probably wouldn't have lived through it. Had some habaneros and a few ghost peppers in there, so at any rate, I did ask for clarification on that, Adam, and they said that they don't open things that are canned because it would spoil sitting there, so. But I don't know why you didn't get like the biggest purple ribbon around. And his wife beat him, she got several ribbons, including blue and reds.
Fantastic.
Anyway, so I do appreciate all the people who exhibited. I used to help judge the exhibits, and I was always lucky enough to have somebody on the fair board. I had one of their kids with me helping to judge, and you should have been in our. We never gave participation. Almost everybody got a red or a blue, and we gave fights if we really didn't like it. So, at any rate, we had a good time, and I know the volunteers enjoyed doing it, but I thank them for what they bring to it, and especially the fair board, because that's a lot of work. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilman Marsh.
Oh yeah, I want to congratulate the county fair for a great fair. The city puts a non-insignificant investment towards the fair every year, and it pays off. I mean, they're doing great work. This weekend they're having there's a high school rodeo, which hasn't been in Holbrook for a long time, if I'm remembering Mike correctly. But congrats to them, and we're really excited to see all the hard work that they do. Mr. Black, I'm glad to see you in the audience. I hope to keep seeing you, and hope the other incoming council people come and take part in these meetings too, and kind of get the feel for things before they grab the reins. So, thanks for coming.
Thank you. And just some clarification, I know they did the high school rodeo last year as well. I'm not sure how many years, but I know
Okay.
this is at least their second
Good.
year. So
They have the junior high one this year too, so I
Okay.
think that's.
they're
That's
adding
fine.
to it, which is great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Councilman Wolford.
All right. Well, I had a great time at the fair. I was overworked by the mayor, all these volunteer hours, working the gates and stuff. And we really had a good time showing a pig, fundraising for the 4-H and the FFA, I believe, is what it's called. In fact, I even went so far as to get all my fellow elk folks to sponsor me and donate. So thank you, Elks members, because I think we raised $70 towards that too. So also would like to make note, again, Michelle Stock, what an amazing job again with the fair, and Mike Sample, another great turnout. But on Saturday, I've been volunteering, helping out at the shelter because it came to my understanding that they're so overwhelmed with all these dogs and cats, and every shelter in the state, in the U.S. basically, are overwhelmed. We are a no-kill shelter here. And my first trip up there was like, wow, every kennel was full. Some of them had a couple of dogs in them, cats. It was like, it was depressing. And I couldn't bring any home because my dogs were not allowed for that. So I'm going to volunteer and help when I can to clean and feed. But I volunteered to help the Friends of the Holbrook Animal Shelter on Saturday. We set up a tent at the fairgrounds for an adoption. We were actually able to get 4 dogs adopted that day, so that was really cool. But on that note, I just would like to remind Holbrook residents, if you have pets, you're responsible for these pets. A few of these pets have been picked up, and it's been a couple of incidents where they've been picked up because they're roaming the streets, and then the owners say, well, I don't want to pay to get them out, you keep it, you know, and it's sad. That's not, we all need to come together and take responsibility and tend to our animals in our community. So whether they're stray or just lost, or, you know, so, but I had a good time though. It was all good.
Just one question, Kip, what are the adoption fees if someone wanted to adopt a cat or a dog from the Holbrook Pound?
So, don't absolutely quote me on this, but quote me. 70 if it's a male, 75 if it's a female, and the adoption includes the shots and fix or neuter, whatever the case may be. If they're not able to do it at the time of your adoption, they'll make arrangements, set up an appointment to bring that pet back to have the operation or whatever. But so it's really not that bad. You know?
That's for dogs. Cats are a little less expensive.
I just adopted a cat today and it was 40.
Okay.
I don't know what it was a female cat. So.
Right. And on a note, I know that people donate. In fact, we had a donation at this tent. Somebody, I can't have a dog or a cat, but I want to donate money to have somebody else adopt. Okay, so there is, through Friends of the Shelter, they collect that money, and so they can assist too with adoption fees and stuff.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, thank you very much. Councilman Dixon.
Yeah, I think we had a very successful fair, and a lot of people don't understand logistically how much goes into the planning and the running of the fair. And I think it went off without a hitch. There's a lot of people there, a lot of vendors, food vendors, and I think it went very well. And I want to also throw Valerie's name in there too. Valerie's very, very good at making sure that vendors are taken care of and that they feel welcome. So thank you for all of them.
Thank you. Yeah, Valerie Slade's been down there, I think, almost as long as Mike.
Well,
Councilman Nilsson.
your brother can drag you into a lot
Exactly,
of different
family, that's what everything.
So I was really impressed with the fair. My grandkids made me go several times. The thing though that was very impressive though was on the second day I went, I noticed that there were city crews. It rained cats and dogs, and the city crews were there and they were fixing the parking lot because of the puddles. They had gravel, and our city crews did an amazing job on a real short notice to repair that and make the city of Holbrook look good during the fair day. So kudos to the city. Also, the APS open house that was at the senior center was very, very successful. So they brought a staff of about 6 people. They helped, I think, 20 or 21 people look at their bill, find a way that most of them could reduce their bill by 25%. They were focusing on low-income senior citizens, and thank you APS for providing this here in Holbrook. So thank you so much. And the last thing I wanted to do was give a plug to the Holbrook Emergency Food Bank. They've established a relationship with St. Mary's Food Bank in Phoenix, and now instead of being able to help people 4 times a year in a Christmas box, the Holbrook Emergency Food Bank can help people every month. And there's a lot more selection. There's beef and chicken and salami and cheese sticks and I can't think of the name of it. It's those little meals that you get for kids. Lunchables. There's such a big selection, and that's thanks to the relationship we have now with St. Mary's Food Bank. And so people that are in need can come once a month, and the deliveries are going to be the 3rd Wednesday of every month, and they've provided us some wonderful salads and yesterday flats and flats of strawberries. And so if you know people that are in need, please send them down, because we're here to help. And as inflation goes up and prices go up in the markets, it's a really good place for people to go. And I think that's all I had.
I appreciate it, and I just want to tack onto that. We appreciate the volunteers that make that food bank happen, and I know Councilman Nielsen and Vice Mayor Payne are part of that. We appreciate your service and the service of the volunteers that help you on that. So. Councilman Kester.
Well, I'd like to thank all those people that work at the fair. And I don't know who the woman is that's in charge of putting all these events together and helping, but my hat goes off to her. She's done one heck of a job. The fair was a great fair. Demolition Derby was a great show to go see. I mean, that Demolition Derby packs the crowd in. And they probably pack it in as good as the rodeo does. I didn't get to take my grandson to the Demolition Derby, but I took him in Saturday, and I don't know if anybody saw the bird show. Well, my grandson said, "Here, put this doll in your hand and hold it up like this," and the bird come over and sat on his, and worked that dollar up till it got to the point of the dollar where the little corner was in his mouth, and flew it over and put it in the bowl. That cost me at least $5. But it was worth it just to see the smile on the kid's face. I did it, I think, Thursday or Friday when I was down, and there was a little girl over there. Mom said, "Tell her to come over here a minute." And the mom brought her over. I said, "Hold your hand up, hold this dollar, hold it up." And she was really amazed that the bird took that dollar. But that was a good show, and I hope they bring it back. If you saw it, the little parrot, the little girl said, "Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O," and the bird said, "Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O." It was a great show. My hats go off to those and all the people that helped. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Yes.
I always have to say one more thing, and that's thanks to the city crews for also helping get a lot of the Main Street ready to look a little better for the fair. And thank you to the townspeople who came out for the cleanup the Saturday before the fair. It all makes a difference, and we really do appreciate it. I don't know anybody in Holbrook that wasn't touched or didn't touch the fair in some way. So, and we enjoyed the bird show at the opening night ceremonies. Adam and I kind of thought maybe they had paid extra to have a flyover. They were, just as they were getting ready to get one part of it done, here came these 3 parrots in formation flying over. Boy, that's pretty impressive, so I'm glad to know it was just part of the show and it didn't cost any extra.
Thank you, we appreciate that. So. Manager Soltis.
Yes, as the mayor mentioned, I also attended the APS dinner. They do a great job. Really helpful. It was really good to talk to people who knew their business, get some details. My concern, of course, was what's going to happen. Toy is going to go away. Are they still going to be able to produce stable power? And the answer to that was yes. And they really do have a heart for the small communities. They really are here to help us, and they do a great job. So thank you, APS. I also attended the fair. It was a great opportunity. Again, as all of you said, they do a really good job. Appreciate all those folks that help make that happen. I attended our monthly Brownfields meeting. Every month we have a meeting on Brownfields, get an update on what's going on. And the Brownfield Advisory Committee has recommended 2 properties here in Holbrook. One is the Bucket of Blood, and the other one is the Sundown Motel. And finally, there was a question about weed cleanup and responsibility. Per Holbrook Code Section 3-1-6, litter control, quote, every person who owns any property in the city shall at all times keep and maintain every sidewalk, landscape area, street, alley, easement, right-of-way, or other similar area adjacent to the property, free of garbage, weeds, and debris. So again, any property around private property is the responsibility of the property owner for getting that cleaned up. And Mayor, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
One thing, Kathy.
Yes.
I don't know if everybody noticed that the Magnuson sign is down. They came in with a big crane, wanted to take that sign down, and they found bees in it.
Oh, wow.
So
that's where they are.
so that quit that day, but the next day I'll come by and said it's down,
That's great.
and they're working hard on that piece of property, and it's a good thing.
All right, thank you. All right, with that, we will move on to item number 9, submission of written petition for items not on the agenda.
There are none.
There are none, thank you. And with that, we will go to item number 10.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
I like the enthusiasm. Do we have a second?
I second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, with that, we are adjourned at 6:22 p.m. Thank you. So at this point,